Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Masters Championship. And tonight we have the Division 3 drivers on track for round 1 here in the Albert Park. And after a long practice week, everybody wants to show what he's capable of as we see how everything will unfold. But before we go into further detail, let me introduce you my tonight's co-commentator. It's the one and only Graham Chappell. Hello, mate.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really excited for this, actually. Nice you are here tonight. And yeah, should be an interesting qualifying and particularly a very, very exciting race, actually. So we have a lot should be fun for sure, as we have a lot of interesting driver lineups tonight, which I gonna talk you through now. So one sec. We also have a few driver lineup changes. So let's get me that. So in the Mercedes we got Extrema and Damien. Also Extrema set the first lap here at 22.5 as a banker, which is not a bad lap here in Division 3. His teammate is Damien. In the Ferrari we have Asim and Azirus. I hope that is pronounced correctly. But we have a change there tonight. As Azirus can't race, he is replaced by Chessmaster tonight. And also Isirim is racing under a new account called Messiah. Let me find him very quickly. Where is he? Yeah, in the Ferrari. Here we go, Messiah. That's his account today. Let's go on with another driver. As we go on with the Red Bull guys, that is Bomber Sanfa and DJ Williamson. Oh, Team C is Stevie G
in the Wesker corner.
In the Wesker corner, he's already out of this qualifying, so not a bad start into the season for him. That is a shame. Yeah, let's go on. Albin Anderson and Mercurial Caesar in the racing point. Then the Crash Stevie G, like Graham Zaw and Ali. In the Williams, S. Jamela and LKT Wreck in the Toro Rosso. Then we have Karl Metz and Who's Loaded in the Haas. Who's Loaded is actually driving under a new count as well, which is Captain Jobs. He's in the pits. Also in the Renault we have PFC Steve and Awesome Dude. In the Alfa Romeo we have Cygate and Team C Tekken. And in the McLaren we have I Am Silas, who is also known as Sergeant Hitman, and Jake. He actually got replaced by Big Shotter, that is Richie Davey. But he can't race either, so the reserve driver Bullet Boy is taking his seat tonight. Bullet Boy, here we go, he's in the pits as well. So that's the Division 3 lineup, Graham, and if you have a look at this lineup, what do you think? What are your thoughts, your feelings in terms of the favorite and maybe promotion candidates? What do you think?
It's always so early to tell, isn't it? Like it's round one. It's kind of you have a kind of feeling who's going to be quick, but you kind of just don't know until kind of you roll the dice. As Alba Anderson goes 22-4 Racing Point divisional pole. He was one that I was interested in, Alvin Anderson for sure. I think that's a really interesting lineup between himself and Caesar in Racing Point. That one stood out to me. This Mercedes lineup of Extrema and Damien is interesting to me as well. We know Extrema can be quick, but his consistency can be
that's
problematic
true
at times. Outside of that, I mean, I was going to say I like the look of Williams with Steve and Ali, although Steve's not got off to the...
oh, there's a Rosso in the wall, just on the background. Who was that? That was Wreck. Oh, Wreck. Just saw him flying out the Wesker corner. Out of Wesker corner, Jesus. He lost his wing.
Doesn't have to lose more than that, to be fair.
Yep, that's actually true.
And one more person I think is a good shout. PFC Steve is one I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. His paces look decent in the various 5-lap lobbies, but I'm interested to see what he can throw down tonight as well.
I have to agree with that 100%. So I've seen here from PFC Steve. He has very good pace in the 5-lappers, as I raced with him a few times. So I'm really interested to see what he can do tonight when it comes to consistency in a 50% race. As he approaches the slight wiggle, a huge wiggle actually. Look at him, he's completely off the road. Got that corner completely wrong, and the Binometer is just flying over the grass as he goes back into the pit. So Needs to get a few new tires and try again, as he failed to set the lap time.
Yeah, look, just look, he just tipped the grass Indy on the entry and then just unsettled him on braking and just launched him off. Thankfully, there's a long enough runoff area for him to skid off. Thankfully, it wasn't too much of an incident in the end. But yeah, lap ruined, as you said.
As we have I am Salas on a lap, I think, as he approached Wesker corner. Also, Extremer coming down from Division 2. So he might be the favorite on paper, but he has a few quick guys around him, like Esgemela as well. Really looking forward to what he can do. Saige, the overchief of last season, he's in current P3. As Silas goes over the line with a 24.6 and gets provisional P6.
Not a lot of times on the board right now, is there? Like, you know, we're almost halfway through the session.
Yeah.
We've only got 9 times.
Only 9 times, yeah. You taking it easy as Messiah goes third fastest at 23.0.
Did you see anything in the 21s?
Yeah, I had to think about it, to be honest. It would be very impressive if somebody could pop into the 21s, the 21.9, but I think we will go with a very low 22 tonight. A 22.1, 22.0, that will be pole. What is your opinion about that?
Yeah, like you said, I'd be pleasantly surprised as I was watching DJ Williamson get his final corner all wrong and pulled into the pits. I would be pleasantly surprised if we saw anything in the 21s, but I'm with you. I'm expecting low 22s here. Seems like there's a 2-3 margin improvement. You have to say maybe for Extrema and Albin, you get more runs because everyone's choosing the soft tire basically, apart from Chubbs at the moment. He's actually in a nice little spot here in fifth, isn't he, on the mediums? Yeah, but, everyone gets an extra bite of the cherry with the softs.
He also surprised me with his early pace. Captain Chubbs, who was also known as Who's Loaded, so he's also one to watch tonight. Maybe also a podium candidate, so his pace looked very well. And still 8 minutes on the clock, and not really much going on track, Graham.
Not a lot. No, we got Ali, I think, on a lap. Everyone else, apart from I think Carl's just about to get a lap as well. Everyone else is either on an out lap or in the pits.
Ali, let me find him. I just got on his profile. Sorry, guys, for the blue screen for 2 seconds.
He's just coming through the second to last corner. Manages to, and he's pulling into pits, so he's not going to start lap time. So that ends that excitement.
Carl Metz, he might be on the lap. He's up by 2/10 on his current best. So let's go on with the Haas driver, Carl Metz. So the two Haas boy, he goes wide into turn 9, I believe. So that's all the gained time lost there already.
I think we do have Albin and Extrema on laps though. Albin is a little bit further up the road, just about to come through turns 9 and 10.
As he has to deal with the Wesker corner now. Let's see how can he take it. Will he nail it? Goes into 6th gear. Look,
very cautious.
Yeah, but clean. So let's see.
He's 4/10 up as well. By the looks of it, nearly 5/10 up.
Oh, little.
To believe in the wiggle. Keeps it going.
Instable back end a bit.
This could be a good lap, Timo.
If he can get these last 2 corners right. Last corner now, a very understeery corner. Be patient on the throttle, then power down early on the start, finish straight up to the line. It's a 21.7. 21.7 by Albin Alderson. That's Division 2 pace for sure. Great lap.
Extreme is going to finish his lap, but he's pulled into the pits, so take that then. 21.7.
What
the? Going to take some beating.
I think he proved us all wrong already, Graham. So by 3/10, I think.
There goes that.
What is a 22.0? He popped in a 21.7. Fantastic.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Just over 5 minutes left. Kind of a lot of people still in the pits. A couple more beginning to venture out. There's still enough time to kind of come out, set a lap, come back in. Around 2-3 minute mark or so. You get yourself back out on their softs. So you'll see a lot of activity very soon.
as the two Renault boys yet to set a lap time, but now Awesome Dude got over the line with 24.9 on a set of mediums and P8, so not bad from Awesome Dude. If he can hold this till the end.
There's so much time to be found from so many drivers. Like only one driver's in the 22s. I think there's a lot of pace to be found from a lot of drivers.
That's...
see Steve come out in the last corner now. See if he can
a bit wide.
He's gonna set a time though. What can he do? It's a good 23, isn't it? Oh, it's a high 22. Put himself into third place.
But what about Big Chuck? I don't know much of him, so it will be a surprise what he can do tonight. Pace-wise and consistency-wise, how he behaves in battles and so on. But is he on an improvement on this lap? Let's find out in a second.
Seems like what was it, 8/10, Sean?
Yeah, 8/10 up on his current best.
Should put him into the mid 24s then. Should get him close to 7. See what he can do in the last sector.
A lot of time to be found here.
So 23s. You're looking at close to a top 5.
Last corner for him. A little bit understeer. But what can he do? It's a 23-24-2, which puts him up into 7th place. Blitz the two ass boys.
I think there's more time to find there because he was basically running on fumes for ERS. Would have lost a good bit of time. But I'm not sure he's got time to come back in, put a new set of tires on, having just started the lap.
And PFC Steve just set a lap there. 22.8. Well, it was the last lap. Whatever, he's in P3. Good margin to pole position. So at the moment, Albin Anderson is blown that field away, Graham. So can anybody challenge this time?
Got Chubbs coming out of the last corner. He's on softs. I don't think it's going to be enough improvement to go pole, but it is good enough for third. 22.7. He's got enough time as well to cool down if he needs to, but you don't want to really take these softs too long than you can avoid it. These softs aren't the most race durable tire.
Yep, that's true. So 2 laps on these tires in quali could be deadly for the race. Big Chuck, can he make it? He has run out of DRS, or ERS, I should say. I think he just also will run out of time with 2.5 minutes to go. I think that's quali over for him, unfortunately.
I think so as well. Got a lot of people coming out of the pits now. We've got 2 minutes 13 left, and it's go time for a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys need to either set times or improve, like Caesar, Rec, DJ Williams. I'm expecting a bit more. Ali as well. So it's pressure time. Time to get it.
As we have a very active chat here in the Division 3 race, so good evening, lads. I hope you enjoy the race. 1.5 minutes to go, as we have I am Silas 91, who's starting a new lap, or his final bite into the cherry, I should say. Can he improve from that P9? And he completely misses the apex of turn 1, and I think that's already quali over for him.
Yeah, Chubbs is into the pits, so no more improvements for him. He's going to be, at best, P3.
Sygate, he's up marginally in P6, just under 10s. Let's go on with the Alfa Romeo driver. Can he improve from the 23.5? Has to find half a second to gain a place.
Not impossible. It's tight as well. It's the second to last corner. Not too wide an exit.
That was
be good.
And we have a 23.2.
We did make an improvement, but no.
Yeah, but time waste, but not in his position, unfortunately. What about Extrema? He just started a lap.
Just starts that lap. Same with Ali. This will be the only lap they get now as well at this stage.
Rec is up by 3/10 as he approaches Wesker corner very cautiously. But let's see if he can pop up into the top 10. Caesar's just behind him. Awesome dude. Is in sector 2. Silas won't be improving. I think he can just start another one.
Yeah, I think he'll be the last person if he hasn't invalidated the turn 1 already.
Wreck now around the last corner as Big Shark finishes the quali in P8. So Wreck can do a 24-4, which is good enough for P9. So pops up into the top 10.
Carl jumps up to 5th in the Haas. Got Caesar coming out of the last corner.
Caesar.
Set of time. Represented the time. Could be good. P2.
Oh, missed him there completely, but great time by the Racing Point driver. 22-3.
Extrema coming towards the second to last corner. Could be the only man maybe to steal away.
Will that be
pole, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Double pole position for Racing Point here. Let's find out what can Extrema do as he comes over the line at 22-1 and he splits the 2 Racing Points. So good job there by Extrema. Ellie
is in the wall, you won't be improving.
Ellie pops up into P8 at 23-2. Messiah is in the last sector. Kalmetz is going slowly. Steve also, he lost the wing. DJ Williamson.
Albin's gone wide, so he's not improving, but doesn't need to.
Messiah is coming around the last corner. Can he go maybe in the top 5? Yes, it's P4. 22-7. Good lap there by Messiah. So what about...
I think that's it then.
DJ Williamson, he couldn't manage to set a time. So it's P16 without a time then. Behind Chessmeister and Bomber. And that's it.
That is it. PFC Steve went wide. I believe it was the exit of the Wesker rather than the kind of the... So he lost it there and into the wall. Alvin Anderson went wide the corner after that. But of course didn't need to improve in the end. His convincing pole in the end.
Yeah.
21-7. Only man in 21s.
So yeah, a few guys failed to nail their last runs there. As we have a look at the overall gaps, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 4 tenths between pole and second place. That's amazing. That's impressive there by Albin Anderson.
Yeah, smashed it in the end, didn't he?
Fantastic stuff. And yeah, Messiah 1 second off pole. But P4 for him, so that midfield battle still looks very close there. From P4 downwards to P9, I think. Then there's a little bit gap there from Big Shark downwards. But do you want to talk us through the final quali results anyway?
So Albin's on pole, I have Extrema, Caesar in 3rd, Messiah in 4th, Chubbs in 5th, Steve 6th, Carl in 7th, Ali in 8th, Psych 8 9th, Big Shark ranking at the top 10. There is a big gap in kind of times. I think a lot of missed potential. I think in many ways, I think people just couldn't get the lap hooked up.
Yeah.
So I think the gaps would suggest a bit that it's not as close. But I think come race time, I think should be a little bit tighter.
I hope so.
Interested to see. No one in the top 10 on the medium tires. All softs in the end.
Yeah, that's true as well. Whereas the guys outside the top 10 have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to choosing the race tire.
That looks overcast.
Yeah, could be some rain in the end or in the middle part of this race to spice that up, maybe. Wouldn't be too comfortable for the drivers, but for us as the viewers and the commentators, why not?
Sure, why not? Thoughts on a race winner? I mean, it's hard to go away from Albin Anderson, but could you make a case for anyone else?
If his race pace is as good as his quali pace, then I think it must be Albin Anderson if he stays consistent. But I don't know. Has he gone for a quali setup there, maybe? I have no clue. I have to see the race pace of these guys. But let me just have a look at the lineup again, and I will make a quick prediction. Oh, it's a tough one. But I think Captain Chubbs did a very good job in the 5 lappers, and so he had a very good first impression on me. So I'm going with Captain Chubbs tonight. It's a bold one, I know, but I go with Captain Chubbs tonight. What about you?
I'll go with Albon. I think that pace is legit and gets a good start. I think he'll be good to go. I'm just looking at the tyres.
Yep.
Softs for the majority of the field. Only Silas and SJ Mellon, of course, joined during qualifying, are on mediums, and then DJ Williamson on hards. Everyone else on softs,
On
which is a
softs.
little surprising for guys outside the top 10.
It is.
As many of them have taken a soft tyre.
I thought the ideal strategy would be mediums and hards,
Did I
especially.
just see rain?
Is it? It is.
I thought I saw.
Yeah, it is. It is raining in the formation lab. It is raining in the formation lab. Oh, that's why, Graham. That's why. So they're taking the gamble on soft tires and hope the rain kicks in immediately. So that makes sense now when I see the situation here in Division 3. So that changes everything.
To be honest, I like the position Silas is in outside the top 10. We don't know how we don't know how quick this rain is going to be in terms for them to get to the changeover point. So I don't know, but going long I always find can be really beneficial. But looking at this rain, it's coming down fairly quickly.
Yep.
So I don't. Maybe it's we talk for a fresh set of soft 6-7 laps ish.
Yeah, that's roundabout, I think.
Should be more than enough, you would think. That the guys inside the top 10.
That
maybe done a bit more running in qualifying.
That also tells me here by the tire choice, drivers mightn't have checked the weather forecast for the race. Could be also an issue. As we have DJ Williamson, Bullet Boy, Team Sys DVG who crashed in qualifying. Nice camera shot here, by the way. And SJ Meller who joined late now, lining up in P19 here for this Australian Grand Prix here at the Albert Park. Would you like to take the start, Graham?
Here we go then. I think this rain won't be long at all before I switch to inters.
Let's go.
Here we go then. Albon's leading at the front. Can he get a perfect start? Away we go. Looks like a decent start to be fair. And Caesar's lost some ground, but going to be under no immediate pressure. Neither is going to be Albon at the front. And they sweep into turn one. Oh, is Renault going for a move? That's PFC Steve. And his fourth racing points is round. That is Caesar.
Oh, that's... Yeah, Caesar. He lost it completely.
Way down towards Turners and McLaren going absolutely bonkers as Bullet Boy, but avoids the contact and they all.
Oh, there's a Renault off the road! Oh. Jamila made a good start up to P12. As Bullet Boy is on the grass a little bit. Oh, that's still close. Oh, there's a Mercedes! As Bullet Boy got collected! Big crash behind Graham! Big crash, Bullet Boy is out of the race! There was a Mercedes off the road and I think Bullet Boy just got collected as somebody else hit the back of him. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Ali, I think. He's off the road. He lost his wing. He was involved in that as well. So big crash in Sector 2. And Bullet Boy had absolutely no chance to avoid this. Oh, what a car.
Wing damage out there.
What a destructive start.
Steve and
Messiah
has made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, he lost several spots.
Ooh, and he made contact with the back of
Jetsmeister got pushed off, and also Awesome Dude came through. So
got some side-by-side action. Timo for 4th and 5th.
Not much space given. Not much space given in the midfield, and there's Messiah going up the inside. Oh, he goes over the grass. Both go over the grass. Both drivers missed to take turn 1. And there's a crash! PFC Steve is in the wall! What a start! What a start! And there's more carnage! Oh, Jesus, look at that. Look at that chaotic race. Look at that.
Can't hack the conditions. Stevie G's up to 7, such has been the madness.
Oh yeah.
Frontier and midfield. Al Anderson 3.7 seconds already.
And Caesar's in the wall! Caesar's in the wall! He hit the back of Bomber Sanfa. What is going on here?
Back here.
What?
Ali and Big Shack have taken the leap to inches already.
Oh
Change
jeez.
their wings. So they've taken the plunge. And
oh, look at that! Look at that! Nobody can make the corners. So I think it's time for Inter's now, Graham, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. SJML is going to get by his teammate here, who's just got a big wiggle out of the western corner at such slow speed. We're going to have to.
As Scuba in the chat is requesting a
Oh,
red
an
flag.
extremist round.
Red flag, red flag! Jesus Christ, I have never seen this before,
Extremist
Graham.
round. And Chubbs is off the track as well. They're all absolutely dying out there. Albert Anderson's going to pull into the pits.
And now, after chaotic start, we have a very busy pit lane. Literally everybody in the pits. No, Captain Chops is going on.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That's lunacy. That's going to really help Carl, who won't be stacked behind his teammate.
True, yeah. Maybe they're chatting, but look at this. He can't even make the corner.
Unless he's understeered away, unless he's understeered out away from it, that could be the only thinking. Because why wouldn't you come in? It's late for Cygate as they service SJ Mellett as well.
As Chessmeister gets hold very, very long, and there's a new wing for a Ferrari. The two Red Bulls are stuck in the pit lane. Chaotic race here in the Australia Division 3, lads. What are we seeing here?
Oh, madness. How have we only got 3 retirements?
Yeah.
So I'll give them credit, to be fair.
Yeah.
They've been hanging in there. Been very sloppy. But only 3 as Extreme and Carl racing. Extreme's going to go a bit wide as he made the corner just about.
Oh, contact! Wheel banging as Caesar left the session. Disappointment start for the lad.
Look how heavy this rain is already.
Madness.
Taking no time for this track to be completely saturated. And as you imagine, Chubbs is losing a lot.
He's losing 2 seconds per corner, I think.
He was literally 15 seconds ahead, about 4 seconds ago. Oh, and the car is round. I think it was contact with himself and Extreme.
Oh, no.
Car is coming as well. Has to be careful rejoining. Gets back on the track.
Look at that. That's my Sensei get very close. Let's go on board. How they take the Wesker corner here in the wet. Very tricky in the try, but even worse in the rain. Oh, he almost lost it. I thought he would be in the wall. Bomber and Big Shock. Oh, look at that. Oh, that will end in tears. Oh, McLaren.
Such a big gaggle of cars, isn't it? From basically P12 where Bomber is.
Yep, so close.
There's a wing change going on his Haas of Chubbs as well.
Silas just about holds it together. So how much time will Captain Chubbs lose? Where will he come out? That's still a long way.
Might not be as bad as he could have been, to be fair.
But he's outside of the top 10, isn't he? It's very close with Ali, yeah. Go on board with Ali to see. Oh, that goes. Ali got a corner, but Chubbs could have a run. No, he stays in P11 as Chess and Cygate. Very close.
Got wreck on wets. He's taking the very early plunge.
Well, Messiah and Big Shark. Oh, look at Messiah. He's off the road, and Silas gets through as well. He gets through as well and lost out to both of them.
Captain Cho's going to get a good run at Ali towards turn 8. On the outside. He's going to get it done too, isn't he? Can he get the break in time?
No, also Chess and Cygate. Chess got through.
See if these wets pay off for wreck. I'm keeping an eye on the times, but I would have thought it'd be a little soon.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's still intermediate conditions. As Albin Anderson at the front, 4.6 seconds. He nailed strategy, he did everything right, and has very commanding a lead after 5 laps. With SJ Mellor. And look at SJ Mellor, he started well down the road, P19 and P2 now. P2 for SJ Mellor, so he nailed it as well. And Extremer, yeah, he has a good gap to SJ Mellor, just settling into this race. Awesome Dude, also very good job. Let's see the overall position changes. So Awesome Dude gained 9 positions, Chessmeister gained 10, the reserve driver here at Ferrari. Cygate did a good job in the rain, he's up into P6. CVG also, he's pressurizing Karl Metz. Fight for P7. DJ Williamson did very well. He goes side by side with Captain Chubbs, who is still struggling in these conditions. Just needs to settle in. So, yeah, Messiah.
It's pounding out there. Look at that rain.
And all the other guys.
West, it does surprise me soon.
The big losers.
Chubbs get by DJ Williamson then. And he's going to lose to Ali, is he? Ooh, Ali just couldn't get round. You can see visibility is very poor out there.
Ooh, but he has a much better run there, Ali, than DJ Williamson.
Closes the door. Smart.
Oh, Messiah and Silas. I think Silas did a mistake. He lost big round already.
DVG's going to get Carl here.
Yep,
Bear run.
just saw that.
That is true.
Nice move by Stevie G. He's loving these conditions. Now, Cygate 3 seconds up the road. As the field starts to spread out just a little bit. Just a few battles on track after 6 laps, which is a shame.
Usually the case in the wet. It does spread out quite quickly,
but if you consider the first laps, the carnage, the chaos, I haven't seen that before, to be honest.
Honestly, cars were off everywhere. Chubbs gets
every corner, at every time.
Like, I've never seen that many cars go off. Like, separately as well. Like, seemingly without hitting a wall or anything, just missing braking points, running wide.
Maybe
didn't work out too well for Rec. He had a spin I saw at the Wesker corners. That's why he's 42 seconds behind now. But this rain gets any heavier. He's the right tire, but he'd be too far behind to actually make it work.
His understeering is so bad. Yeah, I think that's not the right tire he's on.
Safety car. Ali's got a good run here at DJ Williamson. So it's defensive. He should be able to hold that through there. Hard to overtake on the outside there.
Focus on a good run towards turn 11. And much better run, and he gets it on the straight. DJ Williamson, though, he's in ERS mode 5 and side by side to the Wesker corner. Oh, and Ali lost it, and both lost it. Oh, that's a job for the stewards, I imagine.
Be careful, rejoin the track.
Oh, Jesus. Messiah also just avoided that. But I saw that.
Chubbs caught back his teammate as well.
I literally saw that coming.
And I think Carl may have let his teammate go here by the looks of it. Pulled over to the right hand side, lifted off the throttle, and let his teammate go.
Yes, he did.
Already some decent team racing in race 1.
Good to see. As they now try to put up the pressure towards Stevie G.
And they have the margin to do this as well, because Bomber Sam first 11 seconds behind Carl, so they can make that switch.
Yeah, that's the true point.
Ooh, tough one for Big Shaq. I think Big Shaq's lagging as well.
Yeah, for me as well.
Defensive.
So Messiah has to be careful. He goes a bit deep. Messiah gets it down around the outside. Can he hold it? Yes, he can.
Contact, but
he gets it done. Next round there, DJ Williamson and Ali now to fight for P13.
Oh, Chubbs got a good run. Chubbs got a good try down the inside of Stevie G before the Wesker corner. And he's got done beforehand. Chubbs is moving up. Seemingly settling now in these wet conditions.
Looks very good. Now 3.8 seconds towards Cygate. And I don't want to miss that battle, Ali and DJ Williamson. Side by side again, Graham.
Oh,
will there be more contact? Be careful. It looks
so tough to race side by side in the Wesker corner, but in the wet as well. He's got a good run. Go for a dive? No, I can understand why they tend to love the lag and make things a little.
But he got a much better run out of turn 13. Sorry.
He's coming off enough to keep the position for the time being.
But now he has lost a little bit of ground, DJ Williamson. Silas 3 seconds behind, and Rec, well, He already got lapped,
Oh no.
which is a shame.
The gaps are pretty big, like from Albin Anderson to I'm watching Stevie G and Carl here, it's 30 seconds, and that's only down to 9th. That's how quickly this field has spread in the wet.
Yeah, that's a real shame. I hope that dries up again, or let's see. Maybe the guys got a little bit surprised by that rain as well. We don't know. Or most of the guys didn't check.
I don't know if you've ever had
focus.
that. I've never had that where in the formation lap it started raining.
I haven't had that before as well, so was a big
sure,
surprise.
Like me, you've done a lot of races. I've not had that happen.
So, yeah, it's really strange, but it happened here in Division 3 in Australia as well.
Carl's getting close to Stevie G. Oh, and he's hit into the back of him and he's lost his part of his wing.
Oh no, Carl.
Stop in time.
He was in the points finishing position. And now maybe needs to change his wing.
If he comes in.
Because it's even worse to race in a wet with a damaged wing.
His teammate is absolutely flown away though. He's already 3.7 seconds ahead of Stevie G. Closing in the back of Sidegate, so whatever struggles Chubbs was having earlier on, he's definitely flying now.
He has the pace of the wet, so maybe my prediction comes through. So still 20 laps to go. Who knows?
That's 38. That's penalties.
Awesome dude gets a penalty.
30, so he's just at 37 that last lap out. He's actually going. That was his quickest time in the wet. But generally speaking, he's been doing 38 as well. SJ Mela 38, 39. So this is good pace from Chubbs.
Let's see, maybe he's on for a podium if he can keep that up.
He's not that far away. Like there's a lot left in this race. At this rate of pace, could well be on. It's got a good bit of making up to do, to be fair.
And now as everything has come down just a little bit after 9 laps, a lot of destructive stuff at the start. We have Albin Anderson in the lead of this race as he starts lap 10 of 29. 7 seconds in the lead ahead of SJ Mela and Extrema. These guys are in a podium spot at the moment. Awesome dude does a very good job as well. He gets hunted down by Chessmeister. Cygate NP6 as Captain Jumps now is all over him in a matter of no time, to be honest. So he is flying through this field. He's loving these conditions.
Yeah. He needs to be careful not to try and pick up any damage as he gets by. Pace is very good.
Fantastic to see. If he just had pitted that lap earlier, what would have been? Right? What would have been?
Because he lost about easily 10 seconds, and obviously to change the wing as well. He'd easily be up where Extrema is for sure, at the very least. Williams and Ali getting close again.
As he's shifting the shit out of these gears, look at that.
This was going on the inside of Ali. They avoid contact this time round though.
Oh, might get a bit deep, might get a better run. Out of turn 8. Oh, not in this occasion, but maybe towards the Wesker corner, if you can get the traction down. Cygate's defending well at the moment. But he's right up his tail. Look at that, as we have a yellow sector 2. Oh, slight contact there between Cygate and Captain Jobs. He's going up the inside. But he still holds it. So fair play to Cygate.
Helen was interesting as well though, with Chaz Meister.
Around the outside now. Don't lose your patience. Take your time, you still have plenty of laps left to make that move.
And a lot more ERS as well.
I think that's the most interesting battle at the moment. Sorry for the others for no TV time. We have a few battles, Messiah Bomber we have to look at, and also Ali and DJ Williamson. But now towards turn 3, can he make the move? Stick is still too far back. Oh, let's go to DJ Williamson. He's very close to Ali into turn 1. Oh, he's round! DJ Williamson is round. I think that move was not on the card. I think that was Williamson's fault, unfortunately.
Zier's got by Bomber Sanford for 10th.
So,
what was going on?
Mastaya in 10th then. Bomber out of the points. Let's keep watching that Captain Job Cygate battle for P6. As he starts to lose a lot of time behind him. So 9.3 seconds to Jazzmeister. And
yeah, he's disappearing quickly.
Hela sector 1, nothing major, I think. Also, Jazzmeister is closing into Awesome Dude.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
It's been there for a few laps. He's been in this range, but has been struggling to get by. Just seems Awesome Dude just gets the exit he needs every time as Chubbs and Psyche again. So close.
Oh, closer than before. But can Jazzmeister do something? Yeah. He gets a better run out of turn 2 and he got by the Renault driver. So Jazzmeister up into P4 the reserve driver. Great job. And Captain Job. DJ Williamson is out of this race. But let's stick on with that. As he gets desperate to find a way around this Alfa Romeo as Kalmetz pits. So Cygate. He's standing the pressure, which is really impressive, but now he made a little bit of a mistake. Oh, slight contact. And also Silas in the pits.
Wesker corner for DJ Williamson, by the way.
Ah, okay. Unfortunate. But so tricky in these conditions. Also to get that car hooked up in these conditions of the change of direction is really hard.
I think you're seeing the reason why qualifying may have been so far between was positive themselves being run, and here we go then. Chubbs on the outside.
Oh,
there is contact.
Not much space left.
But they survive.
Oh, Ali.
A lot of changes happening.
Oh, Bomber's round. Also
Keep
Big Shark. Got by Silas. Everything is kicking off now. Again.
Usually how it works. Nothing happens and it all happens at once.
Yeah, that's true.
That is always how it goes.
Well, as he gets a penalty.
Take a bit too much out of that corner.
Oh, he's right behind him. He can smell his fuel. He's not using 7th gear here. He stays in 6th and now Cygate gets in a little bit too deep now around the outside of turn 4 and now he gets the job done. Finally.
He's working there for a few laps, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
It was good defensive driving by Cygate initially, but just went a little bit too deep then into 3. But covered him off really well. He's going to be annoyed at himself for letting that one go because he was, I think, comfortably kind of at times keeping him behind, defending the car everywhere he needed to, but just went a bit too deep. And on that occasion, that's kind of our kind of sad because that's our main battle, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Literally the same happened to me in Division 2, going in too deep in turn 1, and I lost out to Kyle and Bert. I believe I lost 2 spots there, which was really annoying, I have to say for myself. But he did a very good job, especially in the rain, to keep that position for that long, so shout out to him. Oh, and Silas is off the track into turn 1, goes over the grass, and Big Shuck goes by, which costs a yellow flag as well. So let's go back to the leaders for once, so not much TV time for them, but they're just doing what they need to do. The Racing Point driver and SJ Mella, the Alfa Romeo. Fantastic drive so far from the back of the grid. Also on a default setup, Graham, so he was not allowed to get a setup in.
Yeah.
But it's even more impressive.
Default setups very good this year, to be fair. There are a lot worse setups you can be running than the default this year. But he's done very well. And using anti-lock brakes, I noticed as well. Or, sorry, no anti-lock brakes, no ABS being run. Alfa Romeo, these conditions, that is
Great stuff.
tricky. Ali's in then. So we're going to see these intermediate guys have to make a stop on these inters and put fresh ones on, because that's what it's beginning to look like, I think.
Very smooth as well.
This is a wing change here, but there's no wing change here.
So Ali is going for the wets. He's going for the wets, Ali. He's going for the gamble. He thinks
That's interesting.
he has nothing to lose.
He has something to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. When in fact he has a point. Like he's in 10th place there. There's plenty to lose.
But maybe he
this pays off.
Wants to gain even more if it rains heavier. But we don't know if that's the case or if that will be the case. Maybe
It's
Jeff.
going to be very limited though, because you look at the gaps in front of him. There's, if Mazir pits, he's still coming out ahead more than likely of Ali, and that's for 9th. So it's a risk that I'm not sure is worth taking. I think a Big Shaq is out.
Oh, Big Shaq is out.
Oh, he's lost at turn 1.
Sorry. Oh. Why can't? What is this? Why can't I actually go onto the profile of a driver doing the race? That makes absolutely no sense.
So it gets you in that as well. So are we all going to see wet tires here, or what's the story? It still seems a bit too light for full wet. Let's see what he does.
Or maybe Jeff is telling them it's wet conditions, maybe alternative strategy or something. Maybe they're taking it and going for the pit stop, but I don't know. It's still intermediates for me, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's just genuine tire wear at this stage. I think we're going to see if that's. See a couple of guys come in and pit fresh inters. I would be surprised if the rest of these guys could get their inters, because we were based on inters from what, lap 3 was the crossover point. So 26 laps on inters. More than likely, we're going to see people pull in for a fresh set. Hopefully, this can bring the field a little bit closer, because although Ashton has brought that gap down at the front, it's 4.3 seconds now, 4.4. It was around 6. Maybe a mistake for Alabama somewhere.
There's nothing really going on track, Graham, so...
No, I guess we could be watching Ali's his progress on the wet, but I'm not sure if Carl will have changed his wing at the stops.
As Extremer? Oh, that's an interesting one. Extremer's in the pits now,
Chaz Meister following him in as well.
On a podium position.
They just can't take him to the end. He's on wets.
And they go for the wets. It's wets for Extremer. What? Chazmeister's in. Awesome dude. That's going to be interesting now.
Inters for Chaz.
In lap 16.
That could be worth a podium there for Chaz if that's the wrong decision for Extremer intermediates.
Awesome.
Full wets for awesome dude. So
full wets.
We're seeing split strategies here. Split.
That will be interesting. So busy pit lane again here in lap 16 of 29. What will Stevie G take? Well. The Williams driver. And also interesting to see to watch the lap times. And also full wets for Stevie G.
It is, to be fair, I'm looking at now, it is absolutely hammering it down, but it has been at other times as well, but now it looks especially that it's absolutely pelting it down.
Also Messiah going for the wet tires.
So
what is the correct strategy? It's so hard to predict, so...
It's hard, isn't it? Let's see what the leaders do. Alvin Anderson's coming up towards the second to last corner now.
Majority of the field is on Inters, and we have Extremer, Awesome Dude, Steve, Messiah and Ali on wet tires, so see the lap time.
Carries on. SJML pulls into the pits. I think it's a decent calculated race from SJML. He's got 29 seconds behind him between himself and Chubbs.
41-1. He
can afford to do something different.
Yeah,
it doesn't work out.
I think that's true.
Win the race, but if it works out, it could be the one.
But I'm staying under there with SJML, and he's going for wets as well.
So the gap was around 4 seconds or so, 4.4 when SJML pitted. We'll see if Alvin responds, and if he does, as Captain Chubbs now pulls into the pits as well. It all seems to be the same thing. So Chazmeister, I think, might have been the one to miss a trick. We don't know if this heavy rain is going to stay, and if it'll go back to intermediate conditions. We shall see. Fresh inters.
Fresh inters for Chubbs.
So this is the wrinkle we needed, I think. Some different strategies going on here.
Oh yeah, that will be interesting. So I don't know how that will pay off for the guys. I think it remains to be seen, and what is the case with the rain? We just don't know as we don't have the weather forecast.
I think Albon's losing time to estimate. Not a ton by the looks of it, but he is losing some time.
Bomber is in as well. I think that's...
Again, part of that I think can be put down to the wear of tyres, not necessarily the actual compound. Or wets for Bomber, so... Anderson coming up to the second to last corner,
and he's coming in. So, interesting to see what he takes.
Does he just match, or does he take the risk?
He will see that SJML and Extrema are on wet, so that's not a question, Graham. Will he match them, or just go for the risk?
Yeah, the safe option would be to match one down. That's what he's going to do.
And he, yeah, fresh wets. As of a yellow sector 2. Oh, it's Hitman, it's Silas. And he retires from the session. That's 1, 2.
Watch that play out the safety car.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you see. Albon comes out then. The gap. See that as it comes across the first sector. It looks fairly similar to what it was when they pitted.
Yeah, for 1.5 seconds.
Or 2 V-shaped off for SJ Mella. So that hasn't changed much.
Unfortunately. We would have loved to see a fight for the lead now, but it's not the case, even though he pitted a lap earlier, so Extrema even more behind. 14.2 seconds. Can Chessmeister close that gap on the intermediates? I think that would be a good comparison, Graham, between Extrema and Chess. Yeah. If Chess can close that gap, it will be the case that the Inters are quicker.
Got a couple of good reference points like Chaz, Chubbs, and then Austin Duden sandwiching between them on wets. Extrema just a few seconds up the road from Chaz. I think we've got a nice, good solid drivers here to kind of compare the compounds really, see how we get on. But that's 3.2 seconds now, that gap between SJ Mella and Ab Anderson, so it's come down a little bit.
I said the yellow flag.
DVG's closest side gate, difference of tyre here. We're the closest group of cars we've got on track at the moment. That's for 7th.
Yep, Steve and Cygate. And CVG is closing that gap very, very fast. But now out of the traction zone he's losing it a little bit, then 3/10, I think. I believe
DVG still runs full traction.
Well, that could be the case as well, yeah. Maybe just a difference. Maybe just a difference where you are, part of the track. Is it the case if you have more rain and less rain on different parts of the track? Is that the case? I don't think so.
Not with Codemasters, I don't think so. Sidegate, it's getting closer. It's down to a second. The gap between Chazmeister and Extreme is kind of the same, isn't it? Yeah. That 2.8 kind of range.
I think these two tower compounds are literally matching each other in terms of pace.
So we've no idea how the weather's going, like if it's set to kind of cool down a bit or increase in intensity. But I wouldn't mind being Chaz at the moment with the Inter. So the longer this goes on, the gap is still kind of the same. The more I'd be feeling confident that perhaps if the weather even regresses a little bit, the tyre will swing back to the Inters, but we'll see. He's still right there, and Extreme's got a lot of penalties as well, don't forget.
Oh yeah.
So
it's also a factor.
Something to watch out for sure.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting race in terms of battles on track, side-by-side racing, but it's exciting because of the tire strategies, Inters and wets, and which is the faster one. At the moment, it seems like they are pretty much matching each other. So let's see. As Jamela left the session, I think I got a disconnect.
He's got a good bit of time.
A
good bit of time. I don't know. I probably losing out for any chance to obviously get close to the race leader, but he's got a good bit of time between himself and Extrema.
Probably can come back in very soon. As Messiah gets a 3-second penalty. Now Steve and Cygate. A very tactical race tonight for Division 3. Not easy at all in those conditions. So shout out to everybody who's still on track.
Feels like this last lap it's swung back towards the wets. Chazmatch has lost a second, and now obviously Steve is right on the back now. Cygate just feels like this last lap. And Ali's been catching Carlo as well pretty quickly, so it feels like it's swung towards the wets.
Oh, he slightly lost it. And Team ZCVG gets through as SJ rejoins back. But can he fight back? Cygate, sorry. Side by side towards turn 3 around the outside. But he backs out of it.
The gaps aren't updating properly between Albin, SJ and Extrema. Extrema is still ahead after he puts up a penalty.
Is that 9 seconds worth of penalties or 12? I'm not sure.
I can have a quick check. Nothing would surprise me.
Same.
I think it's just 2 actually.
Just 2? Oh, okay, fair play. Fair play then.
Just 2 looks for now. And Esmer's got back into his car then.
Yeah, good to see.
Lost a decent bit of ground, but he had a good bit of margin between himself and Extrema, so he is now 12 seconds behind.
Yeah, as you have to cross the line in your car if you want to get the points. As Rek is out of this race, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retirements in this race.
It's actually before turn 5. It's off to the right. I just saw it, Alva. If you can even get with SJML, you'll be able to see it on the right hand side. This car just disappears. He's well in there, but well before turn 5.
So he lost it before, maybe a little wiggle out of turn 4. Couldn't control it anymore, could be the case. But that's 12 drivers remaining, unfortunately. As we have Ali and Carl.
This is for a point.
That's, yeah, a very important point.
So I know Carl's got a decent amount of penalties, so it might not ultimately matter, but still, it's a fight on track.
And he got decent enough third lane speed here, but can't make this move stick, as you have no braking zone at all into turn 1, so very risky in these conditions as well. He's taking his time.
It's one you need to be right alongside him, if not already in front of him, as Carl's deep.
Oh, and that's...
Ali will just nip through. Can Carl fight back? No.
That's position for Ali then. P10, as everybody for sure wants to start the season with points. Starting to the season very well is key to build up momentum for the further races, I could imagine. To build up motivation. And at the moment, it's 10 seconds between Albin and SJ after his disconnect, as Rek leaves the session, or yeah, out of the race.
Yeah, of course.
And now the gaps are quite big.
They are. I mean, is there anything that could be closing? I mean, I have no idea. Chazmaster's completely fallen away now from Extrema, but Awesome Dude's not really any closer. Even though Chaz not enters, so there goes that. Ali will pull away from Carl. I mean, Mazir might be the one to watch, catching up on Cygate on the wets. Not to the inters, but other than that, I don't see a whole lot of other action going on unless we get a late safety car.
Yep, couldn't agree more here. As the gap between Steve and Captain Jobs is also 12.5 seconds. So yeah, the lowest gap is between Karl Metz and Ali, 3.1, and Ali just made the move, so and that's increasing.
You're going to see it swap between Mazir now, I'd say, in a minute or two. There's a lot of penalties for chugs as well, so we are. Oh, Chinimac Cygate is really struggling. He caught he was just going through turn 5 there. I had to catch the back end. It was stepping away from him. He did well to catch it, multiple occasions. And Carl is out.
Oh no, Carl! Let's go on with Bomber. He lost it out of turn 3.
Oh, he's lost it there. Interesting.
Is he on OTC maybe? I'm not sure.
I believe so.
But that could be the case. And one more.
Maybe for that.
Yeah, would be very nice for the last few laps. Let's go. Like in Division 2, we need a safety car.
We do.
to heat that up again.
Doesn't look like it.
And maybe for Bomber, for the chance to sneak a point. But fair play to Bomber, he's still carrying on.
Mazir is right on the back of Cygate now. His gaps come down quickly. Cygate's really struggling in these conditions. These tyres are not the ones to be on anymore.
So we can say now in lap 23, the guys on the wets did the right call. For sure now, the wets are the quicker tires in this stage of the race. So
it shouldn't be too difficult.
Alfa Romeo versus Ferrari. Let's see, he goes defensive, so he's defending his position. He has all the rights to do that. He lost the back end a little bit in the... There's the gap, and there he sneaks through, and that's P8 for Messiah.
That's why you show patience with it, because you know with tire difference like that, you just need to wait, and your advantage will come to you. Good racing by Mazir.
Yeah, very good. He's using his head, and that's what you need to do.
It's just, you just need to be smart at this stage. Take your battles, know your battles. Take the calculated risks.
Yeah, don't risk a crash. It's the last thing we want, not like in Division 2, the two leaders colliding. That was mental.
Any sort of contact we've seen with this game so far, and you just explode. So if you can avoid contact at all costs, you're doing yourself a big favor.
That would also be the better thing to do, as we have much stricter rules in Team C now, so think twice what you do, if you go for a move or not, if you dive bomb anyone or not, so could be a lot of consequences afterwards.
I think Awesome Dude's beginning to catch Chazmeister here. That gap's now 4.4 seconds. It was around 9 a few laps ago. Chazmeister need 12 seconds, I would hazard to guess at this stage. Behind, just hovering under 12 seconds behind Extrema.
Great race there by Chazmeister and Awesome Dude, I have to say. Let's have another look at the position changes. 11 spots gained there by Chessmaster, 17 gained by SJ Meller, and 8. And he lost it! I just was on board with him as he gained 8 positions, but he could lose out to Captain Jobs.
It's not a small part of that wing. The car back straight again.
Awesome Dude.
He was catching Chazmaster, he really was. And all that's kind of out the window. He's got down to the left hand side, the end plate's missing. He's on the right tire, but he's going to be compromised. Can Chubbs do enough to get by? I still think Austin Dude is safe because he's got significantly less penalties. But that rules out any chance for P4.
Oh, what a shame for Awesome Dude. I hope we can hold this P5, but Captain Jobs is now 1.5 seconds behind him. He has a good margin as well to Steve, 10 seconds. He's also having a race on his own. Messiah in P8, Cyget in P9. Could be close there with Ali for the last 2 points for P9. So let's see. And Bomber in P11. He's hoping for another crash or another retirement. So that's the best sign, I think. Bomber here for best sign for never giving up. Best example. And a lot of drivers should do that as well in the other divisions. So fair play to Bomber. You
just never know. You know, I was in a similar situation, French Grand Prix.
Yeah, I remember. I remember in France.
Kept pounding around. I was 11th for forever, and then an incident between Perpetuum and Matt. Curtis Ali is very close now. Occurred on the last lap, and Matt retires, and that allowed me a point. So it was 28 laps of fruitless driving, but I got a point for it in the end.
Yeah.
As Ali pulls off the left-hand side.
That's what counts.
Should see a might be a very similar situation to I think it was Mazir.
He lost it. He avoids contact with the wall, but
contact was marginal, possibly with lag.
Could be he avoids the contact with the wall, but Ali pops through. But and I can imagine Graham will have a lot of videos to look at in the stewards group.
I reckon so. There's a lot of penalties flying around, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. I guess we should mention the gap at the front has been closing. It's 4.1, but I do think this is just Albon managing the race.
He's a fantastic
job. We've seen him do this a few times as well, where the gaps kind of come down from SJ Mella, but I do think that Albon is just pacing this one and just taking it nice and easy. He's got the gap behind him, he knows. I think that's just what's going on the front there. We'll see. A couple of laps to go, but I suspect he is just nursing.
And to be honest, I wouldn't have expected Albert Anderson to be that dominant before the season started. So absolutely smashing, blowing the field away in qualifying, and now leading this race now for 26 laps. Got pole position and is on for his first race here in Division 3. So let's see the next races. Yep.
More comfortable than the gap would appear, make it seem. Captain Chubbs still, you know, he's obviously had that accident. He's got wing damage, but again, the Chubbs just can't. He's actually lost time, if anything. I think just part of that is the tire. Though I do think I'm seeing a line, a bit more of a line begin to emerge on the track now in some spots.
Yeah,
maybe that's an indication that it's shifted away maybe a bit from full wets, but
yep, I would say so as well.
A few laps to go, I can't imagine a lot will change in terms of the right tire to be on, but it does look like it's eased off a bit.
Yep, I agree 100%. It might be Inter's conditions in a few laps time, but what's the point now with 3 laps to go?
At what point do we start getting excited at the front here? Because the gap's 3.2. I still think Albon's managing, but the gap is, you can't deny the gap has been coming down.
It is, yeah. So SJ Miller also shows good pace. He's the one to look at as well for the future races.
Give him a qualifying session and should be right up there, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think we would have seen a very good battle between these two for the lead of this race.
Chubbs is closing this gap.
Just a shame
this lap.
He couldn't take part in quali.
I'm trying to see the lap times between the two.
Yeah, to be honest,
40s.
he could be catching him in the last lap, but I think he's running out of laps here. You know, I think it's too late if he catches him.
SJ has been comfortably in the mid 39s, so there is a significant difference. But you're right, it's one thing to catch and another to overtake. So again, I do think he's been managing at the front, but I guess we'll find out if he closes up. Maybe
he has just pushed too much.
There's a difference between managing and getting like this is to the point where it's like this is getting a little too close for comfort. If you're Albon Anderson, like this gap is, if this is me at the front here managing, that gap is now a little bit uncomfortable where I make one mistake.
Yep.
And I could be losing the position. So I think
that's exactly
this has become more so now SJ Miller's pace, I think, than possibly Albon managing. He's got 2 more laps to hold on, but SJ Miller's lapping significantly quicker.
No, his last sector was staying pretty much the same, 2.5 seconds. So if he can hold that and avoid further penalties, I think he should be good. But I don't know this penalty situation at the front, to be honest. But
Albon has literally he's got 2 warnings.
2 warnings, so no penalties. Nothing.
No warnings for SJ. It's worth mentioning that had to done their fastest laps for a good while. The front 2. It was a 40.1 for Albon Anderson and a 39.4 for Albon Anderson. So the track, I think, is beginning to get drier.
Yeah, now it's
less wet.
It's for sure no, it's intermediate conditions as well, as I have a great rev glitch here with Albon Anderson. And I think also Extremer will hold his P3 because there's a great margin to a Jazzmeister, 20.8 seconds, so he can get a further penalty and he will stay on the podium, I believe. So Jazzmeister,
yeah,
great race, have to mention him again. Also awesome dude. After his little spin, he has Captain Chubbs right behind him, but don't know. We don't know.
The sad thing for the guys with the inters is that it took way too, they lost way too much time with the disadvantage with the wet tires. But now, obviously, it looks like the inters are the best tire, but there's so much time. Like Chad's match has probably lost he's lost 18 seconds at least to Extrema with these tires. He was 2.8. Now he's 21.
Also, tire wear is pretty much the same now. Captain Chubbs on Inters now. I don't know if he has the advantage now on 11 lap old Inters. But he's 5 tenths behind.
Albin put in a better lap that last time than SJ Mella. That's a big lap. He needed that. He should be safe to carry through now.
Could still be interesting here. Fight for P5 is now right behind him. Might have a look after the start finish straight. And let's quickly have a look at the other guys. Team CVG in P7, Messiah in P8, LEP 9, Cygate in P10, and Bomber in P11. So these guys are literally confirmed for their spots. As Captain Jobs is a little bit too far back in this occasion, in this final lap of the Australian Grand Prix.
I think we'll see some position change with penalties, but at the moment, not an issue for the front two.
Yep, that's exactly the most important thing to note. So just has to approach the last sector one more time, and Albin Anderson will be the first race winner here of Division 3 of Season 7.
So close. He's not going to the inside, is he?
Oh. We come back to that in a minute. As Albin Anderson comes through the final corner very cautiously, but he can do that now as he wins the Australian Grand Prix. Congrats to Albin Anderson. Fantastic drive, very dominant in the end. And he just managed it as he kept SJ Mella behind. All what he needed to do, but also very impressive drive there by SJ Mella. Extrema will come home in P3, but we will have a look at a fight for P5. As Captain Jobs gets a very good run out of turn 12, sorry. Turn 12 it is, not P12. And he gets the move done. Yep.
I do think he's got a lot. I know Austin just picked up a penalty.
Oh.
Getting ready to cross the line, but I do think Austin Dude should move back in front.
Let's see. So Captain Jobs. Great drive by Chess as well. So Captain Jobs, an awesome dude who will get P5. And it's awesome dude, as Graham mentioned. Captain Jobs with 2 minute penalties.
Convincingly in the end, 8.3 seconds. Stevie G's going to be close here, surely.
P6 in the end. Will it be? No! He gets jumped by...
Oh, and easily as well.
Gets jumped by Stevie G as well. Jesus. So it's P7 for Jobs. Messiah in P8. Alice coming around the last corner. He will be in 9th and get 2 good points. After a very difficult race. Cygate. He'll be...
Bomber got close enough in the end. He was 4.2 behind. The penalties are a thing here.
Final point.
Just never know. I don't think Cygate's got too many penalties. I guess we'll find out in a second. No, no such luck for Bomber. The poor man has done 29 laps basically in the wet and he's finished 11th.
Unfortunate for him, but fair play for finishing the race, so good for him, fair play. Yes, we have a happy Racing Point driver at the top step of the podium. Well, we have a Alfa Romeo in P2 and a Mercedes in P3. So, congrats to these guys. And Gray, would you like to talk us through the unofficial race results, as we have some decisions to make in terms of the steward reports? That's yet to be made.
Albin Anderson wins in the end. 1.9 seconds ahead of SJ Mella, who pushed him for a little bit in the end there, come from the back of the grid. Extrema gets himself a podium spot in 3rd. Chasmeister, good drive from him in 4th. Austin Dude, great drive from him in 5th. Staying with Stevie G in 6th. Captain Chubbs in 7th. I think a big race of what if for him. 15 seconds of penalty as well as the decision early on to stay out. Nazir in 8th, Ali 9th, Cygate 10th, and Bomber Sanford rounds out our finishers. We lost Carl, Rec, Silas, Big Shaq, VJ Williamson, Caesar, PFC Steve, and Bullet Boy, and some of those feel like it was a long, long time ago.
Oh yeah, first 3-4 laps went well for a few guys, and also look at the overall gaps, 1 minute. So Stevie G is 1 minute behind, so that's just mental. Just like a real life Grand Prix, I have to say.
Any disagreements with SJ Mella for drive of the day in second?
No,
there?
not at all. So absolutely deserved drive of the day, SJ Mella. So I confirm that. Fantastic. So
yeah,
good job.
Given the qualifying session, and I think, and one less disconnect as well. That's the thing. Like I think it got to a point where Albert Anderson was, I think, struggling. If you're managing the gap, you don't let it come down that close if you can avoid it. If he hadn't disconnected, I do wonder if that could have been more for SJ Mela. We'll never know.
Yeah, that's the truth. What could have been if he hadn't had that disconnect? Could have been real closer.
And give him a good internet.
Oh yeah, that could be the case. And overall, Graham, how would you sum up that first race of Division 3?
Fairly a lot of carnage at the start. The gap's kind of spread out, but I'm glad at least we got a nice little wrinkle with the guys. This strategies, such as the guys choosing the fresh inters, some guys choosing the wets. At least we got some excitement with that and what that created. But otherwise, it did quieten down a decent bit once the start kind of settled down. We got onto the wet tires, and a few people had their accidents. But at least we had that nice little strategy wrinkle near the last third of the race.
I have to agree, absolutely. It was a very tactical race in terms of the tire strategy. To be on the right tire at the right time, inters or wets for these guys in Division 3. So was a little bit of excitement there. Not many battles on track, what we want to see, a little bit spread out during the middle part of the race, but in the end it's a well-deserved race winner, Albin Anderson, SJ Mela driver of the day, and Extrema rounding of that podium tonight. So guys, that's it from us. Thanks, Graham, for joining me. It was a lot of fun.
And a good time.
Yeah, and next up is Division 1 on Monday, as we start a new race week at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sark here with me in the commentary box as well, I think, with Wesker. Then Division 2 on Tuesday and Division 3 on Friday in Bahrain. So until then, have a good time, keep it safe, keep racing.